Time, the most valuable resource you would ever have as a living being. Sounds funny. Some may say money is more important, and they say money makes the world go round. But the reality is time is a universal currency that we all have each day. And how we use our time determines how high we fly or how low we go. And that wasn't a song. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about our time. How we use our time, how disciplined we are with our time, and how we can build new habits. Today I woke up in the morning at about 4:30 thereabouts, and I was to go for a morning walk. Typically, it would take me about 15 minutes to get ready and leave the house and jet out for that walk. But guess what? I ended up leaving the house at about 6 a.m. this morning. And I said to myself, what actually stopped me from leaving early? Yes, I did it, my morning devotion, read my Bible a bit, and did a couple of other things while I was at it. But the reality was that I spent the larger part of that time scrolling through my feeds, scrolling through my emails, scrolling through my WhatsApp chats, scrolling through my IG page and a couple of other things. And guess what? I still have a lot of unread messages I haven't responded to. But the reality is that how we spend our time when we wake up in the morning determines how high we fly and how far we go in terms of our daily activities. And many of us have gotten into this trap, as we've advanced with technology, that we wake up in the morning and all we just do is scroll. Scroll through our phones, scroll through our various social media handles, scroll through emails, and what happens is that it puts a lot of pressure on the brain. And it makes your brain a bit less productive in the morning because you fed yourself with so much stuff that your brain goes into almost like a hyperventilation mode, and is processing all that information, all that imagery too early in the morning. And guess what? If you want to succeed, and if you want to make best use of your time, you have to manage how you use that resource, because it's the most important thing you ever have, and that's just the reality. So after I finished my morning walk, we took about an hour plus, for me to do that. I took a drive down to Surulere, and when I did that, I saw two ladies at a point by the National Stadium, and I drove past. I just took a note and went down. And no, I wasn't scouting for ladies. Dirty mind. And I went to do a couple of other things along the way. I also met another gentleman, who I saw on the way, at a particular point, just around Adelabu or thereabout. And I just took a mental note. I wasn't really paying attention to anything, but just like a mental note. So I went, did everything I needed to do, and I was out. And I was heading back, and I first saw that gentleman, and he probably hadn't gone past a meter. And I was like, wow, okay. So I've done X, Y, Z, and this gentleman is still not too far from where I first saw him the first time. And you could say, yes, I was using the car, so things are a bit more faster when you drive and stuff like that. Then I continued going. And guess what? I saw those two ladies. And guess where I saw them? Not too far from the Shita roundabout. And I said to myself, I left these ladies at National Stadium. There was no traffic light. I went down, did X, Y, Z, saw this other gentleman who I ended up seeing twice on my trip back. And these ladies are still at the National Stadium. And I said to myself, even when I take my morning walks, I most likely wouldn't be around Shita within that time frame that I spent. Hopped on the bridge, got back to the island, headed down towards Lekki, towards Chevron, close to VGC, and did all that, some of the other things, and went home to take a shower. And I clocked in on the time in the car, and I realized I had spent 1 hour doing all of that, driving from VI to Surulere back towards Chevron, doing a couple of things in Surulere while I was at it before heading back. And I said to myself, wow, that if I could have achieved so much within 1 hour, why did I waste so much time in the morning just scrolling through all my IG feeds and, doing stuff? And it made me ponder that every day we tell ourselves that we don't have enough time, we wish we had more time, our jobs are taking the best of our time, I need to have a work-life balance and all this sort of talk. But the reality is that, are we really spending our time wisely? Are we disciplined with the way we use our time? Are we disciplined with the way we spend our hours at work? Are we actually productive at work? Think about that for a second. Now, what I'm going to say to everyone here is, this week, or this weekend, take out some time to do a mental audit of yourself, of how you spend your time and the things you spend most of your time doing. I mean, if you everyone's got a smartphone these days, and the phones have like monitor your screen time. Look at what you spent the most of your time doing. Reflect on your week. You clocked into work. You did a couple of things, here and there, and sort of figure out how productive was I at work. How productive was I over the weekend? Yes, I know you're tired and stressed from the week. Trust me. We're all in this. We're all in this WhatsApp group together. But the reality is that when you reflect deeply, you will see that you could have spent your time a little bit more wisely than how you did. You could have been a bit more disciplined and probably applied some level of deep work while at work. Basically, knocking off and shutting off everyone for 30 minutes or 25-minute intervals, just focusing closely on the things you need to get done. But guess what? We spend more time chatting, talking about Netflix banter, what's trending on Instablog, and a couple of other things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should be antisocial. But I'm just saying that you realize that you can actually clock in at 8 o'clock and clock out at 5 if you actually spend your time a bit more wisely. No cap. I had a colleague who used to do that. She clocks in 8 o'clock every single day, and 6 p.m. every single day, she clocks out. And guess what? She never has anything left undone. You're wondering, right? Think about it. Reflect. So this week, spend some time. See how you use your time. Spend some time seeing how you use your time. Hey, that sounds like a nice rhyme. But above all, be a bit more disciplined with the way you spend your time. Build some habits. Build some new habits. Learn something new. You want to save money for that holiday trip. It starts by you setting aside some money and being disciplined. You want to be able to get to work early. You need to wake up early and leave your house early. You want to, do a couple of other things after work. You need to finish up your work on time to be able to leave the office on time. And as you build those habits, trust me, you begin to see that change. I've lost 3 kg in the last 1 month plus because I've just been a bit more disciplined with my time. I go for my daily walks. I try to go to the gym once or twice a week. I try to be a bit more conscious of what I eat. Say no to rice, they say, which I've tried to do a little bit. But trust me, you can't keep me away from our father sauce. But think about it for a while. If I was able to lose 3 kg in the last 1 month by just trying out new habits each day and being a bit more disciplined with the way I use my time, you can do it also. And there's nothing stopping you. So, what are you going to do differently this week? Are you going to chase the bandwagon saying, I need more time, my work is taking the best of me? Or are you just going to be a bit more disciplined and manage your time better? Because look at it, and let's be real. Aliko Dangote probably manages 8 to 10 to 15 businesses as a chairman of those companies. He may not be involved in the day-to-day operations, but he still needs to have some level of oversight over those companies. So imagine what his time management structure is like. Imagine what his day is like. Imagine what his routine is like. But you want to be like him. You want to be wealthy like him. But you don't want to do the time. Hey, think about that. Have a great week. Like, share, follow, enjoy. Bye.